Hello, and how are you today? We're doing fine here so far. You're watching the Cannon County Chamber Connection, and of course, this is brought to you by DTC3 Communications. My name is Carolyn Motley, and my co-host is Keith Reddy, and one of our jobs is to keep you informed as to what's going on in Cannon County. And so that's what we're going to do. I hope you got a lot of treats for Halloween and not many tricks, because we had a beautiful weather for it, didn't we?
Yeah, and if you went down to the Woodbury Health and Rehab on Halloween night, they were packed. They were packed for a good 3 hours. They said they started popping popcorn at 5 o'clock in the morning. And this popcorn, now they had a collection of popcorn. I'd say now I found the best popcorn in Cannon County.
What, at the rehab?
At the rehab, yep. I asked them, I said, is that your popper? And they said, yes, it is. You know, they had one of those machines.
Yeah.
And boy, great taste of popcorn. I'm a big popcorn nut anyway.
I like popcorn too.
But they had all kids, you know, you saw costumes. I'd never seen anybody. Now let me ask you this, Presley, you probably know, and Amanda may know who this is. I've never seen anybody dress up in a marshmallow costume. You know who that is?
There's a DJ.
That's exactly who I'm talking
Yes.
about. I tried to get a picture of him, but he escaped before I could get it. I really wanted that because that was a unique, I've never seen anybody dressed up like that.
Yes, I saw a bunch of costumes. Of Marshmallow, so he's getting pretty popular.
Pokemon costumes, there was kids, you know, everywhere. There was a nice little Raggedy Ann doll type of costume, baby, that was in a Raggedy Ann costume, but those guys were very busy, and it was good to see because nursing home, they hadn't been out in 2 years or so since COVID. Right. So they were glad, the various residents were glad to be out and being able to greet all the trick-or-treaters.
They get a kick out of it up there. A lot of the patients up there do, or the people that live there.
Did you go trick-or-treating?
No. I had trick-or-treaters. I had 2 trick-or-treaters come to my house, and they were, one was a fireman, and the other was a pumpkin butt.
Oh my goodness.
Pumpkin butt.
I had about 10 trick-or-treaters. I had a lot of Lilo and Stitch and Stranger Things, so, but it was a good turnout, I think.
I dressed up as a ninja for Halloween.
Yeah.
I did a DJ'd a little thing up here in Woodbury the day before, or Friday, I guess it was. And so I went out and got me a costume. And I wasn't thinking, because the ninja, you got your little scarf that you put around your, I'm thinking COVID. I don't want to do that. So I was just a no scarf ninja.
Well, you could have just wore a mask. And, listen, I like Halloween. A lot of people have different feelings about that holiday. But we used to have a lot of kids come to our door, but they all grew up. And now we don't have any little kids on our road. But usually I go somewhere else. I went to the library one time and we did that, and I went down to, now my daughter lives in Beaver Dam. So they get bombarded with it.
I don't understand. We never get any trick-or-treaters in my house. I've not had a trick-or-treaters. I've lived in the same house for 12 years. Now I'm in a trailer park, you know, and there's a lot of kids. I don't know where they go. I mean, I leave my porch light on, or used to. I don't anymore because nobody shows up. And they don't even go trick-or-treating around the neighborhood, you know.
Well, here we've got College Street, which they just block it off.
There was enough kids to make a college, I'll tell you that
There
much.
was. They usually bombard it. They do. But that's okay, because I like it, and everybody has fun with it. We had a pumpkin festival the Saturday before, which I think there was a lot of kids there for that.
Yeah.
And everything on the square. So this is all good, not complaining about a thing. But now we're into November, so we're looking at your Thanksgiving menu and your Christmas shopping lists. And I just can't believe I'm saying that, because I don't know where this year went. We've got less than 2 months and we're going to be into another year.
2023.
Yes. I guess I should be happy I'm alive to see it, and I am, but it just seems like the years before that kind of drug by, 20 and 21, and then 22 has just flown by. But we have a whole list of things for you yet to see and do in Cannon County for the next 2 months. But right now, I want to introduce our guests today because they are with the Child Advocacy Center. And of course, the Child Advocacy Center does a lot of good work in Cannon County. And they deal with things that we wish they didn't have to, but they do. And we're glad to have them here. We have Miss Presley Hosford and Amanda Hammond is here with us. And ladies, I'm going to let you take it from there. Presley, you're fairly new. I know Amanda's been here for a while.
Yes.
But you're doing the,
So I'm the Community Education Coordinator at the CAC. So I facilitate the Darkness to Light trainings, and I teach adults how to prevent, recognize, and react responsibly to child sexual abuse in our community. So right now, we know that 1 in 10 children will be the victims of child sexual abuse before their 18th birthday. And so breaking that number down into Cannon County, there's approximately 20 students per classroom in Cannon County schools, which means that 2 children per classroom will potentially be the victims of child sexual abuse. And that number is staggering. It breaks my heart. And so I facilitate Darkness to Light trainings in hopes to lower the number of children who are victims of sexual abuse. And so I really want to come together with the community and train as many adults in Cannon County as I possibly can, because it takes a community effort.
how would you, if you were wanting to get this training, how would you go about? Who would you contact, and would you
Yes.
do it as a group or?
Yeah, so you can do it as a group, or you can do it individually. You could call us at the CAC. It's 615-563-9915, or you could email me, and I can do it one-on-one or with a group. And this training, you can do a 1-hour session or a 2-hour session, but you'll learn the 5 steps in protecting your children, and it's a great training. You know, I've seen the video, gosh, about 100 times, and I take away something new every time I see it.
Now, you had a Darkness to Light training here recently on a
Yes.
Friday. Are you going to plan on doing those, continue those on Fridays like you had? I don't know what the turnout was this last time
Yeah,
around. But
so I have done 2 public trainings at the courthouse so far, and I would love to do more of those. So we really have to get down to scheduling and making sure we could
gotcha.
do that again. But I love having the public trainings because it just offers everyone to come and join. And, you know, we recommend it to parents, grandparents, or anyone who is around children.
Right.
Yeah, and our hope is to train every adult in Cannon County. So just anyone who has any interaction with a child, it's a great training to have, not
Yes.
only for preventative, but also if you suspect or know of child abuse, it also talks about the steps to take and how to report that and how to support a child that's maybe going through that
Yes,
situation.
and to add on to that, everyone in the state of Tennessee is actually a mandated reporter. So if you're suspicious or know of abuse, you're required by law to report it. And so that's another reason this training is great, because since we all are mandated reporters, we should know how to make a report. And so that's another thing you learn with Darkness to Light.
And not to give away too much of the training, because it's a lot of information, but one thing that I think is a good takeaway is that when we were growing up, it was always like, don't talk to strangers. But this training really goes into, what's the percentage on how many kids?
Yes, so 90% of children who are abused, it's by someone they know and trust. And so we're really moving away from stranger danger, since we know that's only 10% of our cases. And so it helps set boundaries for everybody in your life. That way, when someone crosses a boundary with children, it's easier for us as a community to recognize that.
what would you think, what would you consider when you conduct these trainings, when you're talking to your audience, what are the 3 things, or what is the most important thing that you try to stress to your audience?
The most important thing.
I'm putting you on the spot here.
Yes.
Well, the training goes over 5 steps.
Yes. So there are 5 steps I could share. I won't give away too much. But I think one of the most important things I tell people is if a child discloses sexual abuse to you, to stay calm and listen and believe that child, because they have come to you as that trusting adult. And so when you sit and give them the floor to tell their story of trauma and really listen and believe them, you're helping that child really communicate something they are having a hard time understanding what has happened to them. And so once that disclosure is made and you make that report, then our team can spring into action and help that child.
And as a trusted individual, it's not your job to investigate whether it happened or didn't happen or get all the details. You just want to be that person that the child confides in and then know who to report that to.
Right.
Yes, and I'd like to stress too to people, having suspicion is enough to make a report. And you are not accusing anybody of sexual abuse. You're simply asking for a service to be done on behalf of that child.
And you don't have to put a name to your report. Anyone can call in an anonymous referral
Yes.
for DCS to do an investigation. So
Yes.
don't think that they're going to know that you're the one that called something in. I know a lot of people sometimes are afraid what will happen if they find out I'm the one that
Yeah.
told.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it can be done anonymously, which can bring some relief.
You know, that is such a difficult area, the whole thing is, because I know there have been times that children being children sometimes will tell things that later on they will wish they hadn't done, but for whatever reason at the time. And one of the stigmas of this is if you're accused of that, the damage is done when you're accused. Because if word gets out, that's what people think regardless. And I do know of an instance, I used to substitute teach at one of the schools, and I do know of an instance where a child did tell this. She later recanted it, but the damage was kind of done when she said it.
Yes. So we know that while the number is low, 2 to 4% of reports are false. And so that is another great thing about this training is not only are you learning how to protect the children in your lives, but you're also learning how to protect yourself.
Yeah.
So you don't end up in a situation like that.
Do you have another public darkness to light training scheduled yet?
I do not. I wish I did.
Okay.
However, I'm very flexible with scheduling, so I always cater to a person or organization's best time interest. And I also do these trainings virtually, if that's easier for some people.
For what now? Virtual?
Virtual,
Okay.
yes,
Yeah.
like on Zoom.
Yeah.
That way, you know, because some of those survivor stories in the video are tough to hear. And some people benefit from being in the comfort of their own home and, you know, taking that training.
Well, good deal. All right.
Very good. What's your job, girl?
Well, I am the family service coordinator for Cannon County. So that means I work with kids when they come to our office because of severe child abuse or sex abuse. I usually am there as a support person to whoever brings them, the non-offending parent or caregiver, just to kind of walk them through the process and what to expect, next steps. Working as part of our, we call it the CIPIT team, the Child Protective Investigative Team, which is the DA, law enforcement, DCS, and the CAC. I also work with families that are drug endangered, so they have had contact with someone who's used substances or is in recovery. So I work with a lot of kids who have just been around that, and we know that that's a lot of kids. I mean, that happens everywhere, but so I work with those families, as just a support person and to help them find things that they may need, household items, things that get donated to us. Also just providing basic education, like maybe parenting skills and stuff. And beyond my expertise, I refer them to services that they may need, like counseling, or if they need like a more intensive home treatment. We can find somebody that's willing to come to the house and meet with the families. So I always just try to tell the families, I'm here for you. I work for you essentially to help you with whatever you feel like you need to be successful. Because we know that substance abuse can leave a huge strain on families, especially if, a parent is absent because of their substance abuse issues, and so a grandparent or an aunt or somebody else is having to care for that child. They may not be equipped to care for the child. They may have already raised all their kids, and now they're having to take on a toddler or baby or whatever the case may be, or a school-age child. And we all know how stressful it can be to kind of keep up with school-age activities and homework and all that stuff. So I just really try to step in and help the family where they feel like they need it the most.
And we do have a lot of families where one of the parents is out of the family,
Yes,
and so
yes.
that the other one is kind of
Yes, and that's a huge
picking up
stress.
or the grandparents, like you say. There's a lot of grandparents anymore that are raising their grandchildren or their children.
Absolutely. Yes, and so I mentioned donations. A lot of times people in the community will ask if they can donate. So yes, we do take donations of like perishable or non-perishable food items, clothing, stuff like that. If you're cleaning out a closet and you've got some toys or something that you want to pass along, I usually can find a family to use that stuff. So I welcome any donations. That's a good way to help us out. We are grant funded, so it's 100% paid for by the grant or grants and fundraising. I'm sure we'll be back later to talk about our annual fundraiser, but so that's how that's how our program gets funded. So we could use as much help as we can from the community.
Yes.
And right now, you've got, of course, the holidays are coming up, and you've got families that will be needing help for Christmas.
We do a Secret Santa, we call it Secret Santa program. So if you're interested in sponsoring a child or a family, I've got, smaller families, I've got some bigger families I work with, anything that you feel like you could help with, even if it's just, one child. If you feel that on your heart to help out, just give us a call. You can call me, email me, and let me know what you're thinking about doing, and I can kind of walk you through the process there. But essentially, we have a lot of support from the community to sponsor these families because they're, like I said, there's a lot of stress on them already, so they may not, the holidays, while it's a happy, fun time, it's also a stressful time.
It is.
Especially if you're having to feed more mouths or try to figure out how to get everybody a present. Even one present can be stressful for people.
Yeah.
Right.
No, but the support we get from the community during Secret Santa, it really
It's amazing.
it's
I'm sitting
amazing. Just the smallest act, how much it can brighten a family's day or take some pressure and stress off of them.
And this is my third year with the Child Advocacy Center doing the Secret Santa program, and I've had about 20 to 30 families each year that get sponsored. And so I haven't had a family be turned away. So I've always been able to match them with somebody. So that's all the community, and we're so grateful for that support.
Well, I know last year I took a couple of families last year, but it seemed like all of the children on their list, and these were two different, but they wanted poppets. And I had no idea what a poppet was. So I'm looking around the store, I thought, poppet, what could... Finally, I just broke down and asked. And the lady told me, she goes, they're up by the cash register. And I thought, well, okay, yep, this can't be too big. Well, all it was a little thing where you push it in,
Yes.
and then you turn it over and push it back.
It's like when I was a kid doing the bubble wrap.
Right,
You would pop
that's
the bubble wrap.
exactly what it was. I could have just bought them a few sheets of bubble wrap.
Yeah, there's people my age who want some poppets. So
I
they're
had
pretty
never...
popular, Yeah.
I got to go figure out what this poppet is. I'm not familiar.
You don't know what
I
it
think
is
you might
either, do you?
like it. You might enjoy it.
If you need
Is it
something
like
to
a
keep your hands
stress,
busy.
like one of those, what was it, the fidget
The fidget
thing?
cube.
Fidget,
Yeah.
yes.
Or
It's like
something
another
like
one
Well,
of
this
those.
is just, it comes in different shapes. You can get one, looks like a fish, or there was just different shapes and different colors, and it's just bubbles. And you pop them in, And then when you're done popping, you turn it over and pop them
Pop 'em
back out.
back
It's like
out.
a silicone thing,
They've
so it's flexible.
started
Yeah.
making really big ones.
How do you
too.
keep people busy? Give them a poppet.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, my goodness. What have we?
Well, I had a
resorted to?
time because I was looking there, I thought, what in the world's a
I can understand maybe kids being interested in this, but adults are interested in this too?
I think it's, people want to keep their hands busy
Yeah,
and
maybe,
I
it's
guess
like-
maybe, the
it's like a new
stress
stress
thing, the
relief.
stress
I'm
ball or
telling
whatever.
you,
Yeah,
bubble
okay.
wrap is the same thing.
I like taking bubble wrap and putting it on the deal and rolling an office chair across it, making it all pop at one time, sound like a machine gun.
Yeah. It's so funny.
one
I don't
other
know
thing
where I got you from, Keith.
One other thing I wanted to mention while I was talking about ways to help, we do have a Facebook page in Cannon, the Child Advocacy Center, and so if you are on Facebook, do us a favor and like our page, share our post. We do share a lot of interesting information, a lot of ways to help through our Facebook page. Also, just facts and
Yes.
statistics, and Presley will be able to update any trainings that she has
Of
scheduled.
course.
So Facebook is a good way to keep up to date with the Child Advocacy Center,
Yes.
and it really helps us out if you not only like it, but also share it so that your friends can see it, because we want to reach, like I said, as many people as we possibly can.
Now, if we could get you all to write articles for the paper, that'd be cool too, like
yes.
weekly submissions or something like
Yeah.
that.
Sure, we're open
We'd
to
entertain
whatever.
that.
We could write up a few newsletters for sure.
Yeah.
But going back to Facebook, it is so helpful when we have those follows and shares. Especially right now, we are in our 19 days of activism. It's a campaign from November 1st to November 19th, and it highlights different child abuse and neglect topics and how we can prevent, and it also brings awareness. And so simply by sharing those posts, we're educating the community more.
And you also highlight some of the other organizations
Yes.
that help in this fight against.
Exactly.
I noticed that. And a lot of them, obviously, from Rutherford County. There's several because it's Cannon County and Rutherford County.
Yes.
But there are a lot of different organizations that people can get plugged into
Of course.
for resources and whatnot.
Most
It's good.
definitely.
Well, ladies, is there anything else you want to tell us about while you're here?
Oh, goodness. I think we hit it all. How, again,
You know, if you, I'll add a little something here. If you have a Sunday school group that would like to have a Darkness to Light, if you have a club that would like to have, this is something that everybody probably needs to know. It really is. And so you could contact Presley, and I do, while I'm mentioning this, I like to say that word because I love her name. How'd you get that name, Presley?
my dad is quite the Elvis fan. So here I am.
I already knew this.
Did we mention that the training is free too? So
Oh, yes. Let me mention that. The training
Well, that
is
always
free.
helps.
It does help because if you go on Darkness to Light's website and take it, you do have to pay money. And so that's another great thing about the Child Advocacy Center facilitating these trainings is they're free to the community. And so if it's a Sunday school group, a life group, a group of parents, this training is catered to anybody and everybody. And the more adults that are trained, the more prevention we can do and keep our kids safe.
And that's important anymore. It really is. More important now, I guess, than, I think probably, I don't know that there's more now than there used to be. I think the difference is people didn't talk about it way back when.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes. We are breaking the taboo of keeping it in the home. We want to break these social norms, and we need to shed light and speak about it. Because if we don't speak about it, if we don't bring awareness to the community, sexual abuse will continue to stay in the dark, and that's where it thrives.
Yeah, it is. You're right. Okay, ladies, well, you're welcome to stay.
Well, thank you so much for having us.
But
We
you let me
appreciate it.
know, you send me some lists, okay?
I will.
Yes.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you both for being here.
Thank you for having us.
And I still love your name.
Thank you.
Okay, Keith. I feel like sitting at the end of the table with you.
Yeah, it's kind of like we're over here at the table. We need to kind of be in the center, but that's okay. He's got the camera over
That's
here,
all
so
right.
we're good, yeah.
Hey, he can do this. Okay, what we're going to talk about now is what is happening in Cannon County. And just because the year is about up does not mean that there's not a lot to do. I'm
See
going to
this
tell you right
sheet?
now.
Right there, that's the sheet. I do want to make mention, I know you've got it on here, and it's at the very bottom, but I want to talk about the November 11th Veterans Day.
Right.
There is a Veterans Day program that will be held at the Cannon County High School starting at 9 o'clock in the morning. We want to invite all of the veterans that have served to be a part of this. It's kind of in the community. I'd like to see a lot of people from the community come out. They're more than welcome to come. It's a free event. And, you know, Veterans Day programs in the past in Cannon County haven't. A lot of the community and obviously work and other obligations have kept people from coming. But I'd like to see more. You know, there should be more veterans to come out. I know they'd be welcome. And that's at 9 o'clock at the Cannon County High School. And,
In the gym.
And veterans, if you come out, they'll feed you lunch, free lunch,
Well, all right.
out there after the ceremony is over with. And it's a really nice thing these guys do. And high school students get involved with this as far as the implementation of the program. And it's a really special program, so hope to see as many people as can come out Saturday morning, November the 11th, which is Veterans Day. I'm sorry, Friday morning, November the 11th.
I was going to
which is
say, I
Veterans
believe
Day.
that's on a Friday.
And I
but-
think they're going to have a parade, but I think it's more Vietnam veterans that are going to be grand marshals and stuff like
Right.
that the next day on Saturday.
On Saturday,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay, well, I'm glad you
Now we
had
can-
that information because I didn't have a lot of
Yeah.
information.
Now
on
we can follow your script.
Well, all right. Well, the first thing, we start out with, this is a giving time of the year. It is for me, and it is for a lot of people. And one of the things that the Lions Club here is very active in our community in a lot of different areas. And one of the things that they're active in is the Coats for Cannon. And that will be held on the 11th, on a Friday, November 11th, at the Lions Club building. And what they do is they give, now some of these coats are brand new, and then some are slightly used. They give away free gloves, hats, socks. Sometimes there's underwear. You wouldn't think that people would need underwear, but there are people that do need them. But that will be on November 11th, and these are free. You can't send your children out there without you. You're going to have to bring, and this is only for Cannon County residents. But if you'll come out there and you need a coat, someone in your family needs coats, your kids needs coats, hey, they've got them there. And there's no stipulation on anything else. It's just if you need a coat for you or your family, then please come out there. And it will be from 11 a.m. until 7 p.m. And like I say, if you can come out there and go through them, and they have all kinds. They have lots of different kinds of coats too. So, and like I say, a lot of people are good to donate free. They'll go out and buy coats. So that's one good thing. And then December 3rd is Pancakes with Santa at the Lions Club. And then that is followed by the Lions Club Christmas Parade, which gets bigger every year. And if you want to be in the parade, if you have a float or a car or a horse or a mule or what, just come around to where the Lions Club building is, and they will line you up for the parade.
What if
But
you
that
just wanna
starts at
walk?
noon. You can walk too.
Walk and wave, yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
Throw
Be a long
candy.
walk, but yeah, throw candy.
Hey, there are people that do that walk that whole route.
Yes, they do.
They do. And it is a long time. We like floats. You know, if somebody wants to take the time to make some floats and everything, we like those. And of course, for the pancakes with Santa, Santa will be there, and there will be pictures. And also, I do want to tell you, the Christmas Village will be set up. That is inside the the Lions Club building.
Who sets that up?
I just don't want to take credit for that, but I will.
Okay. Yeah, you should.
Yes, I
You ought to
do.
see this Christmas village. It's well put together. It's a big display, and people that go and see it really like it.
They do, and
I've
I
never
like
heard
it.
a complaint
It takes me a week to get it set
A
up.
week? Man,
Well,
it'd take me about a month.
The thing that takes the longest is every year I have to stop and think, how did I wire this up last year to where you only have to plug in one thing? You
See
know,
what you need to do, like this year while you're doing
Take
it.
a picture of it.
No, get a video camera out and just put it on one side, and that way you can watch yourself and do kind of like a YouTube instructional
every
video.
year I have to stop and think, how did I get all these lights plugged into one thing? But when it's done, it's pretty and I love it. And I love for people to see it, I do. I used to put a small one up at my house, but I outgrew my house years ago, so the Lions Club is good enough to let me set up 9 tables of it. So, and last year I could have used another table. But anyway, we want you to come out. Pancakes with Santa is always fun. The pancakes are good and sausage and everything. And then right after that, that is from 7 till 10. And then following that, they'll start lining up for the parade, which starts at noon. And then also another thing that they have, and they're already on sale at various businesses throughout the town, is the Lions Club nuts that they sell every year. And they've got several different assortments now of them. They're at the banks, they're at a lot of the businesses in Cannon County. And also the Christmas ornaments, which this year I believe the Christmas ornament, and a lot of people collect these, is the Woodbury Funeral Home.
No, cool.
And I think I have every one that we've had.
Yeah. No, there's some that aren't even in print anymore.
No, oh yeah, they don't.
Yeah.
There's some you can't get anymore. I believe the Shirt Factory was one of them.
Was it?
And then there was they reordered on the courthouse, but I think all of those are gone now. And the Goat Motel, I think all of those are gone.
Yeah.
But if you're lacking one, they might have one somewhere.
You know how
so
many
you can
Christmas
check
ornaments the
this.
Lions Club has put together? I mean, as far as years?
I want to say it's like maybe 12.
Okay. Good collection.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, and some people call me every year and they say, when they get here, be sure and get me one.
Right.
So that's just another little unique thing.
How much are the ornaments? Do you
They did go up this
Very-
year, and I think they're $12.
$12, just like the nuts are?
Yeah.
I think nuts are, yeah. And by the way, they've got this year, as far as the nuts are concerned, chocolate-covered peanuts.
They do, and we
That's
haven't
something
had
new.
those
Yeah.
before. I did see that. I can't eat them, but they do have
Right,
them, and they
right.
do look good. They have some trail mix. They have cashews, pecans. The one I didn't see was the walnuts.
Yeah, I didn't see that listed this year.
I didn't either, and I thought I liked those, but maybe they weren't a big seller. And then the other thing that the Lions Club does, and this will be starting November 5th, and it will be every Saturday through December, is they set up at the Dollar Market, because they work with the Lions Club on this, and they collect food for the food bank. And our food bank is in need of food right now. So if you see them set up there, they're identified. You can tell who they're with because they have Lions Club everywhere. But if you go in to purchase a food item, if you could just maybe find it in your heart or your pocketbook to be able to give a can of soup or flour or something to the, that will go to the food bank, because people are in need right now, and they will be then too. And you know, I guess the thing we have to remember is people eat more than, I mean, Christmas and Thanksgiving is good, but people have to eat all year round. So we have to keep our food bank where they have a lot of food to give out. So that's another thing the Lions Club does. And I won't even go into all the other things like the glasses and the testing for eyes and ears and the blood drives and everything like that. So yeah, we're lucky to have an active Lions Club in Cannon County. Oh, let me see what else. The Art Center, they have lots of things too. November 26th through December 22nd, the White Oak Holiday Bazaar will be taking place inside the Art Center, and this is a handmade holiday market, and that's what it is. All these items will be handmade, and they were things that you would see at the White Oak Craft Fair, a lot of them, and it will be inside the Art Center. It will be open to the public every day the Art Center is open, and that's Tuesday through Saturday from 10 to 4. And let me see, December 2nd through December 17th will be the Christmas Schooner, which is a musical, and it will take center stage at the Art Center on Fridays and Saturdays at 7:30 and Sundays at 2 o'clock matinee. So that'll be something fun. And another thing, if you're looking for something to buy someone on your list that has everything and you can't think, they have season tickets at the Art Center. That includes 6 shows during the year. This is kind of the gift that keeps on giving throughout the year. But that would be a great Christmas gift for someone that likes to go and see live entertainment. And all of their shows are good. Now, that doesn't include the concerts, but it does include all of their shows for next year, and there will be 6 of them. And I think that is a $70 price tag, but like I say, you're getting something that's going to last the entire year there. So, and let's see, the Cannon Country Christmas. This is something I look forward to every year.
And you participated in all of them, haven't you?
Well,
32nd annual.
I can't, yes, this is the 32nd. I'm trying to think if I did or not. I'm sure they probably had some before I got involved, but anyway, this takes place November 18th and 19th, because if you don't start early anymore, then you get left behind, because everybody else is already having Black Fridays and everything, sales galore everywhere. So we always have this and always have had the week before Thanksgiving. And on Friday night is when it really kicks off, and Santa will come in at about 5 o'clock. I'll have him on the square. There'll be Christmas lights everywhere. They really decorate up the businesses and the square and throughout the town. And I love the Christmas lights, I do. And the businesses stay open late. They'll have gifts, they'll have sales, they'll have door prizes, and lots of surprises there. And many of them will have treats along with that, and Christmas music. And who does that?
I guess I will be doing it.
Yes,
It'll
you
be
will.
interesting how this works out for the Christmas music. I'm already making up a playlist. And what we're going to do is we're going to feature some of the Christmas releases from this year.
Oh, okay.
Some of them have already been, they're starting to put them out. In fact, I think next week there'll be a couple of new releases that are really good. The Trans-Siberian Orchestra will have music from them. We'll have a lot of Christmas classics. And we're going to pump this over a internet radio station called Cannon Rocks. It's off of a Zeno radio app, and I'll have some more information about it on Facebook about how you can get the app so you can listen not only from the square, but you can also listen all night long from 5 to 9 o'clock as you're shopping in the various businesses in and around the square. So you can take your phone in, you can listen to what I got. We'll introduce you. I'll give a little brief history and kind of promote some new releases so you can add it to your music collection.
Well, the other thing about that is it's not just the businesses around the square. There's a lot of businesses throughout Cannon County We have some antique stores that are not on the square. We have one on Bradyville Road, and I'm sure that she will be involved. Gazaway has one, and they may get involved in it too, probably on a Saturday more than on a Friday night. The flea market gets involved in it on Saturday. We have some other restaurants, Sonic will be involved in it. So, you know, you just need to come to Cannon County and take advantage of it because, hey, it's free to walk around the square. It's free to go in and shop, and you might even buy something. That's the whole idea of this.
And there's no ball games or anything to
Right, keep you
clash
away.
with it, so come on out.
And we got Stones River Wealth Management. They did this last year. They set up a fire pit on the square, and they did s'mores, which they called me today and said they would like to do that again. We also have the Dillon Street Baptist Church that does their live nativity scene. And when I say live, everything in it is live. Last year they had a camel. Well, one year we had a kangaroo. He wasn't supposed to be there, but
Got the holidays mixed up.
no, I think he got left, so they just took him. But anyway, I thought that was really cute.
Christmas kangaroo. They could have probably dressed it up in like festive colors and
No, I went over there, and that little kangaroo was over there. He was a little one. And I will tell you this, now, last year they had a camel, but we do not have camel rides, because I had one lady she was kind of frustrated because she had brought a lot of kids, and she said she was there for the camel rides. Well, this little camel, he's for looking at, and sometimes you can pet him, but yeah, he's not going to be giving rides of any kind. So besides that would make the insurance go really high.
yes, it would.
And we will have Christmas music everywhere, and like I say, all the stores get involved in it. And people just have a good time. And Santa will be walking around the square. You can bring your kids, have your pictures made with them, bring your own camera, and he'll be giving out some treats as long as he has them. Okay, let me see, what else have we got going on? Oh, I do have something else. On December 9th, the Cannon County Senior Center will hold their Christmas gala. I always enjoy this. They have a night of dinner, entertainment. The tables are decorated to a theme for Christmas, and they are beautiful. You cannot believe what some of these ladies can do to set a Christmas table. I mean, really. And they also have a silent auction. And this is one of those things where, excuse me, if you have an office party, or you have a ladies just like to get together, or your family get together, the tables each set 8. And you can call the senior center and reserve a table and sit together at this. And also, if you want to host a table, if you would like to decorate a table, you can call the senior center and let them know, and they'll be glad to give you all the information about that. Keith, is there anything else going on that I've missed?
Basketball season is fixing to start. Football season is in playoffs, live and in living color right now, but by the time this airs, it'll be basketball season will be a few days away as far as high school. For those of you that love basketball, you ought to see our middle school, very first year for middle school basketball.
And they're
as far as
doing well,
officially.
aren't they?
They're 5-0. They beat DeKalb County last night. They whooped them last night. And, you know, this team of 7th and 8th graders, all right, if they can somehow stay together even when those 8th graders move up to being freshmen, this team's got something special going on. And
Well,
I
that's what
think,
it takes.
you know, juniors and seniors, when they be in high school, it's going to pay off if they can keep them together and keep them in AAU, keep them in the off season playing together. This team, they communicate. They're missing a couple of pieces in the post, but you know, they've got a couple of good post players. They just need a couple more, you know, to develop. But I tell you what, the sky's the limit for this group, and they're very special. So if you get a chance to come out and see them, come on out and grab you a schedule. I'm not for sure all of their games, you know, or whatnot, but they got a full list of games going all the way through December. So come out and check them out.
Well, that's good to know. And you know what I think a lot of this has to do with when they start little bitty playing together, like in the,
Right.
what is the little bitty ones?
The youth basketball.
That little ones that go out there and play. And you get certain ones together, and now we've got one middle school where these kids can all play together instead of separate schools, you know, where they were playing separate teams.
And we've had middle grades basketball, kind of like the middle school. Basically, it was the middle school. But this particular group of about 7 or 8, they communicate so well. You know, it's like they've been playing together for a long time. And I think
good.
part of it's the guards. They've got a couple of good athletic guards that know how to pass the ball, know how to, you know, distribute, and they got a floor general that pretty much takes charge of everything, and these guys respond. And as far as I can remember, and then of course when your grandson played, they had good communication, and there's been some teams that had that special bond, and that's what's going on here. To see that in 7th and 8th grade is just unreal, that type of a bond. You normally don't see it until your junior or senior year in basketball, but this is always 7th and 8th grade, so yeah.
Well, that's good. I'm glad to hear that. I really am. I don't have anybody playing anymore, and it's kind of sad because I felt like most of my life sitting at a ball game somewhere. And I kind of miss it. You miss it when you don't have it anymore, but who knows? I got one great-grandchild, and it's a few years before he'd be playing or not, but who knows? He may want to be a cheerleader. I don't know.
Return back to the gym for Carolyn, if that's the case, right?
Well, yeah, they may have to wheel me in, but I'll get there one way or another. The other thing I do want to mention, and this is more or less, well, not just Cannon County, but it helps if it's Cannon County, is we have a new advertising mode now, and that is our digital advertising. We do have a billboard and on one side and digital advertising on the other. And so if you are interested in doing some of that, I think it's very effective. I look at it, I like the colors that it puts up there. So I have information on who you can contact if you would like to advertise on that. And he'll be glad to give you prices and talk to you about it. And you know, some other little stores that we have that are unique. Well, we're getting the Domino's. They're working on it. It should be open the end of November or the 1st of December. We've got the Greek Euros down here. That's open. We've got some barber shops coming in. I think there's 2 of them.
Woods Viking Barber Shop comes out of Murfreesboro. Their main branch is out of Murfreesboro. The owner happened to have built a house here in Cannon County.
Oh, okay.
And loves this area, and he decided, you know what? We need a Wood Viking South. So he's opened up a barber shop right next to the Euro place, right there on Main Street, and they do a great job.
They have redone that whole little area there. They have whoever owns that, and it looks so nice. And I think maybe
there was somebody that there's a business now. You know the laundromat, and then right next door
is a children's center,
Okay,
and I'm not
that's what I
sure
was gonna
what that
ask.
is. I'm not
Yeah, I
sure if
haven't-
it's a daycare or
Right.
I'm not sure what it is, but I'll find out.
And then,
But-
and then down on the square, you talking about other barber shops, there's a Main Image, I want to say is what the name of it is. It's got a big old banner out now.
Right.
In front of the storefront. It's right next door to the courier offices.
Right.
And so they'll be offering haircuts as well. So anytime I get shaggy, old Ronald's going to say, hey, there's no excuse. You got to go
Get
down
over
the car.
there.
Yeah.
You're just down the street.
Walk, so.
So that all works out good, but we are having some new businesses come into town, and this is good too, but don't forget, our antique stores are great for our business. There's a lot of people that shop antique stores. But when you have that, and you have as many as we do, you'll have little specialty stores that will open up around them.
And I like the way that those antique stores here in Cannon County and Woodbury, they operate, how their business practices are. Because
Right.
it's not just antiques.
Right.
These guys go out, and here's the secret to this. What some of these people have done is they have gone out to various, storage units. And when the storage unit's not paid for and they're auctioning them off, now I'm not saying around here, I'd probably Murfreesboro, McMinnville, places like that. And they'll go and bid on these storage units, and they'll take, and if they win the bid, they'll take the stuff and they'll put it in their shop. And you can find almost anything once you get a collection going.
My daughter and her husband have a booth at the old feed store.
Yeah,
And they go to estate sales.
right.
They go to auctions. They go to just regular auctions. They're doing something all the time
Right,
to keep their product rotating.
yeah. And it's not just antiques. I mean, these people.
No, there's a lot of other
Kind
things
of depends
too.
on what they find at these auctions and whatnot. Yep,
But they're great to go through. They're a lot of fun to go through.
right.
Well, you'll see Christmas decorations that aren't antiques. They're new. People have made them or whatever, so yeah. I like that, and it's fun. And we have a coffee shop, and we have some little unique boutiques that have popped up, and it's all good. So we just want you to come to Cannon County, take advantage of the things that we have. We like visitors. We like you to come and see and go back and brag about us. And with that, I don't have another thing to tell you about today, do you?
I don't either. I think we've told everything, told all we know.
So I just want to thank you for watching, and we will see you again next month.
Happy Thanksgiving.